Good day and welcome to our short explanation of how to set up the Garmin DriveAssist 51 LMTS. This is the one with the camera. As far as unboxing goes, we've saved the time of cracking it open. I hate watching people do that. What's in there is a useless warranty card, garbage, a DriveAssist manual, which is worse than garbage. There's really nothing in it at all. What does count is the device itself, the cigarette lighter attachment, the mount, and the charge cord. Now the charge cord and the cigarette lighter are really the same thing, obviously. So anyway, one just has a cigarette lighter on it. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the device itself. The first thing I noticed was that the camera is adjustable. So you may want to set that up when you mount it. You may have to set it up and move it with your finger to adjust it. So anyway, pretty straightforward. This clip just comes off. And I suppose that's because there must be other mounting clips you can get for it. And I did that just by pressing here. There's a power charge there, power port there, just an old USB 1 port. This is the power on and off. And most notably of interest is the SD card. This unit did not ship with one, so I had to go buy one. It has to be a class 10. Means it has to be fast. So it doesn't have to be big, just has to be fast. I believe it was anywhere from 16 gig to 128 gig it'll support. Okay, moving on. So here's the unit. That little blue triangle, by the way, is from this plastic tab. I'm not going to pull this off yet. Let's just power it up. So you have to press and hold it. There it is. And to save time again, what I've done is already gone through the first three things. The first thing it asks you is for your country, second is your language, and the third is to level the camera, and so it has an idea of where it is, I guess. Anyway, you accept all here, agree. And then the next thing I did is the very first thing everybody should do, which is go to settings, go to updates, set it up on Wi-Fi. Once you get it set up on Wi-Fi, click check for updates. Now, I've already gone through this. This takes, well, it said it would take 2¼ hours. It actually took about an hour on my system. So, but you do have to have it plugged in while you do that. So when I say plugged in, you just take your USB cord, plug it into probably a typical phone charger, and then plug it in here, and you are on your way. Okay, so let's go through the settings because there are some that I wanted to change. The map and vehicle, we'll just scroll through these quickly so you get to see what they are. I liked to have the little vehicle, little SUV here, because that's the type of vehicle this is going in, for the character that is shown on the map rather than the blue arrow. Doesn't make any difference really. 3D driving view. We're not going to go through all of these, by the way. I'm just simply showing you some of them, and we'll point out some of the ones you want to change. So I'm going to scroll through so you can see them. Auto zoom is very handy. Navigation. Wireless networks. This is another thing you want to do is set up your Bluetooth. What you should do is get the mobile app, the Garmin mobile app, and then sync it to this. And you do that with Bluetooth. If you do that, it will pull down both current traffic information and parking information. It will also do its best on weather, which is great. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to do that because you don't want to chew up your data on your phone plan, like a lot of people don't, as long as it's set up on Wi-Fi, it will at least update while it's in your garage, because presumably your Wi-Fi will reach to your garage and it will pull information. So that's still something that's useful. So make sure you set it up on the Wi-Fi. Okay, you'll also want to set it up on Bluetooth because this device will act as a Bluetooth speaker. And it will also read your texts. So if it won't read them, it'll put them up on the large screen here, which is great. So especially if you have an older car without Bluetooth in it, this, and certainly everybody's phones have them now. It's nice to have a decent quality Bluetooth speaker. Okay, so we'll just show you what the settings look like. All right, and Bluetooth is enabled. Search for devices. This is how you sync it up with your phone. Just click on search and do the same thing on your phone, and it will work itself out quite quickly. When you put it up mounted on your dash, what you need to do is go into Dashcam and camera placement, and say whether it's centered in the the middle of the middle of your windshield, the left of the windshield, on the driver's side, or in the right on the passenger side, and then how tall a vehicle is. So it only has two settings for height, and basically is it a car, an SUV, or truck, and yeah, so there you go. Alignment is just that, so it's just giving you a way to set it up so that it knows where it's flat. I'm not going to do that here, but that's what you need to do when you first put it in your vehicle. Okay. Record audio on the dash cam I did not want, so I've turned that off. It asks you when you do the very, very first setup, but this is something I did not want. Something I did want is to go down to Device and turn on Device Data Reporting. That's off by default for privacy reasons. I wanted it turned on because I want this to report what the device is doing, feedback into the system, and improve the accuracy as time goes on. So it's always good to give the manufacturer feedback if you can. Okay, one more thing to show you here in the menus before we get out of them is driver assist. So this is only on the this DriveAssist 51 model with the webcam. So if it's a DriveAssist model, it'll have this, and the reason is it's got a camera, so it can figure out if you're leaving the road. It will give you an alert. The lane departure, my experience has been that it's not really lane departure, it's road departure. So if you're changing lanes, it doesn't seem to pick it up. Forward collision warning is very handy. Red light cams, also very handy. Okay, so that's enough of the settings here. Let's go back out. You can click where to and type things in, but it's much easier if you simply say voice command 175 Cove Drive.
Did you say 175 Cove Drive, Calgary metro area, Alberta?
Yes.
Would you like to begin navigation?
Yes. Okay, so we're inside a big steel building, so it will not locate satellites. But there are a couple of things you can see here. Firstly, it gives you your speed, which is nice. And there is a setting that shows when you're over speed, this will change to red, and you can have it pop up an alert at the top that tells you that, or it can have an audible alert as well. Along the top, when this locating satellites goes away, which if you're outside will be virtually instantaneous, it will bring up all of your alerts. Things like red light cams and speed limit changes and things like that, which are really handy. Now keep in mind that it's getting that from the database, it's not getting it from the camera, but it's still very, very handy to have. So yeah, let's show you one more thing here, which is mounting this. So basically you mount this by just jamming the ball in. You won't damage it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, there it is. You peel this off and put that on your glass, and you put that down, and you can see here, I'll just bend this a little bit so you can see it getting sucked in there, just that little bit. Right, so when you want to take it off, you just pop that and off it goes, and then you can just take the whole thing away. Now you can't just pop it off too, but you don't really need to do that. You can pop it right out of the socket here, which I'm going to do. You can pull the back off. There's lots of ways to go about it. So in summary, when you get out of the box and you've got it set up and it's gone through its updates, there are three things you really need to do. The first is to make sure that the device is on your Wi-Fi. That will also update the device itself over time, not just the maps and other information. The next thing you need to do is set it up on Bluetooth, be a wireless speaker for your phone, which is a wonderful thing, and it will display your texts. And the last thing you need to do when you set it up is to go into the dash cam and go through the placements, which we'll just set up here. Go through these three after you've got it set up in your car to make sure it's all happy. All right, if you have any questions, please get a hold of us at www.urtech.ca. Thank you. Bye-bye. Voice command.
Say a command. For additional commands, say down.
Find address 351 First Street, Edmonton.
Speak an address in Canada. Main menu.
Find address.
Speak an address in Canada.
351 First Street, Edmonton. By the way, I don't know whether
Did
that
you
exists.
say 3,
Oh, it
5,
does.
1,
Yes.
First Street East, Calgary Metro Area, Alberta?
Well, I actually said Edmonton, but again, I don't know whether that address actually exists in Edmonton, so for the sake of argument, let's go back here.
Speak an address in main menu.
Find address.
Speak an address in Canada.
351 First Street Southwest, Calgary, Alberta.
Did you say 613 main menu?
Find address.
Speak an address in Canada.
251 2nd Street, Calgary.
Did you say 2516?
Wow, that's bad.
Speak an address. Main menu.
Find address.
Speak an address in Canada.
179 Cove Drive, Chestermere, Alberta.
Did you say 179? Speak an address in Canada.
179 Cove.
Did you say 179 Kings Calgary Metro Area, Alberta? Speak an address. Main menu.